it's me, Leanne, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Want to know how to take a few years off that beautiful face of yours? I know I do. But first I'm going to tell you why that happens. Here's a fun fact. Aging is actually more environmental than it is chronological, meaning that the environment, the sun, the UV rays, pollution, and those free radicals that we always hear about speed up the aging process. I mean, have you ever seen one of those women walking around with that big brim hat and slathering all kinds of sunscreen on her face? She looks 10 to 20 years younger, right? Her skin looks absolutely beautiful. And here's why. The sun, or the UV rays from the sun, actually break down the collagen in our skin. That's the mattress of our skin, the thing that gives us a bounce, the thing that keeps your cheekbones up here instead of down here, right? And I'm going to read this little bit of this little next part to you so I don't mess it up. But so tanning is a temporary defense mechanism designed to lessen the effects of UV radiation on the body. Melanin darkens the skin, forming a barrier to the sun. Who knew, right? And tanning beds, oh my goodness, tanning beds are the sun times 10. Tanning beds are the devil. It's like being in a little pressure cooker. The radiation or the UV rays that they use in those beds are actually worse for your skin than the physical sun. So if you want to keep that young, youthful look, stay out of tanning beds. And so here are some statistics that I found, just to kind of back that up a little bit. So research shows that 90% of the symptoms of premature aging come from the sun's UV rays. 70 to 80% of that damage occurs before you reach the age of 20. So if you keep sunscreen on your kids, trust me, they will thank you later. And the next part is kind of interesting too. So that damage that happens before you're the age of 20 actually starts showing up on your face when you're in your 40s. So I don't know about you, but when I turned 40, I started seeing some of these brown spots, a little bit of wrinkling, some red blotchiness. That's all sun damage. And actually my daughter Crystal, she was younger when I went to aesthetics school. And I talked to her about the sun and tanning beds, and she's actually probably only been in a tanning bed a couple times in her life, you know, for like prom and maybe some special events. So her skin is absolutely beautiful, and it is because she protected it. And, you know, here are a couple things that might help turn back the hands of time, as I like to say. I don't know if you've actually heard about Retin-A or retinols, and if you have a you know, mature skin like mine, you might want to familiarize yourself with these products. So Retin-A is proven to help improve skin texture, wrinkles, and brown spots in the skin. And it does this by speeding up our cellular turnover. And retinols are actually a derivative of Retin-A. They're a little more gentle to the skin. So if you have a sensitive skin type, or if you're just starting to use these products, you might want to start with a retinol. And most of these products you need to go see a dermatologist for, or you can find some over-the-counter ones, but they're not as strong as the ones that you can get through a doctor's office. So what is cellular turnover and why is it important? Cellular turnover is the rate at which the cells migrate from the base of the bottom of your skin and slough off to the top. So when we're in our 20s, that process is about 30 days. So every 30 days we have these brand new, younger looking cells coming to the top of our skin, giving us more of our youthful glow. As we get older, that process slows down to about 45 days. So some of these chemical or physical exfoliants will help with that process. And the reason, and I say this to my clients all the time, so here's how I explain it. So the outer layer of our skin is actually a protective barrier. And what happens when we slough off that top layer is it sends a signal down below, and it's like, oh my God, our protective layer, it's gone. We need to hurry up and get more up there. So it kind of speeds up the cellular turnover. And one of the reasons that's important is it actually helps to also, you know, it gets rid of some of that the dead buildup on your skin, or the things that might be blocking some of that, the oils, the natural oils in our skin. And we want those natural oils in our skin because they hydrate our skin and protective. It's like it's a protective barrier. So there's a couple of, like I mentioned, there's physical and chemical exfoliants. A chemical exfoliant might be like a retinol, or, you know, a glycolic peel or salicylic peel. Those are just some non-invasive peels that you can kind of get from an esthetician. You can get deeper peels at a doctor's office, but just for basic light exfoliation, you can use the chemical peels, or the physical exfoliants are things like you might buy at the store that have like little tiny grains in it, and you don't want to like kill your skin. You just want to gently exfoliate, and this actually helps, like I said, keeping your skin look a little bit more youthful and younger. Who doesn't want that, right? A couple more things that might help. Water. Water is huge, and that's actually going to be its own episode. Water actually helps to plump the tissue, hydrate the skin. It will actually, if your skin's plumper, it will smooth out some of those fine lines and fine lines in your skin. And also, what it might help with is some dark circles. So the skin underneath our eye is very thin and very delicate, and it gets dehydrated quicker. If you have dark circles under your skin, it's not going to completely take them away, but it will help somewhat with that. The other thing with water, if you have some of that puffiness under your eyes, it could be if you may eating too much salt, or you might be having a little bit too much alcohol or any of that stuff. Water actually helps move waste through the body, so it can kind of help to move some of that stuff and clear it out of your system. Exercise actually will help infuse oxygen into the skin. So increase your heart rate, increase your circulation, helps to move blood and that oxygen through your skin. I know sometimes if you go to get a facial, they do a facial massage, and that actually is to help to improve circulation and bring that oxygen into the skin. Omega-3s. Omega-3s heal the skin from the inside out. They kind of repair the cell membranes and help to make the skin more resilient and to internal external threats. So you always hear about those crazy free radicals that are out there, and this omega-3s and antioxidants in general are good for that type of thing. They just help protect our cells. Stress is a huge factor in prematurely aging the skin. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody who's completely stressed out. I mean, they look like they're a mess. And then what do they look like when they get back from vacation? They look rested, they look youthful, they look more vibrant, you know. So stress is huge, and we have stressors all over the place. I mean, there's work stressors, there's family stressors, there's financial stressors, you know. And, you know, maybe we'll talk about that next week. You know, we can't actually have a completely stress-free life, but there are things that you can do to reduce the stress in your life. So I think that's all I have. Again, thank you for your time. I appreciate you stopping by. If you have any questions, leave them below, and I'm happy to answer them. And for God's sakes, don't forget your sunscreen.